Forces. Why do we need forces? They are a very important aspect in engineering. They are also one of the reasons why we are standing on the ground and not floating in the air, or why a car stops when you press the brakes and not just keeps on moving forward. These two everyday things I told you are all about gravitational force. The image on the right shows us what if there is no gravitational force or force, whereas the image on the left shows us the importance of one of the force known as gravitational force, and it also shows us the importance of having force. There are two types of main forces, balanced forces and unbalanced forces. In both of them, there are two forces applied in opposite direction, but in balanced forces, both are equal forces, and in unbalanced forces, one is greater than the other. Balanced forces are stationary, whereas unbalanced forces have a movement in the opposite direction. Now we will have a look at the three laws of Newton. The first law states that an object at rest will stay at rest unless an unbalanced force acts upon it. It is also known as the law of inertia. If the object is in motion, it will move in the same speed in the same direction till this time an unbalanced force doesn't act upon it. Now we can see an example of the first law of motion. It shows us that the truck was moving at a uniform speed in the same direction, but as soon as an unbalanced force reacts upon the truck, it stops the movement of it. Second law. The second law tells us that the acceleration is produced when a force acts on a mass. The greater the mass of the object which is to be accelerated, the greater the amount of force we will need to accelerate the object. The second law has an exact relationship between force, mass and acceleration. Hence, force equal to mass times acceleration. If you look at this image, the man is exerting a force on a car. So it's just a small little exercise for you all to find out the amount of force the man requires to make sure the car moves and stay at rest. Now to sum it all up, we move on to the last topic, third law of Newton, which tells us that for every force present there is a reaction force that is equal in size but opposite in direction, which means that every action has an equal reaction but in the opposite direction. In this example we can see three cases, one of an airfoil, which shows when the airfoil is deflected up, the flow is deflected down. Then, when an engine is pushed forward, the flow is pushed back. And finally, when the ball is deflected up, the flow is deflected down. Thank you.
Created using Powtoon.